All right, welcome back to the Off the Gourd podcast, episode 3. Got a lot of juicy topics to talk about. Uh, Brief overview. We got stuff like the state of play that just
Lame.
recently happened, as well as the new Pokemon trailer.
Lame.
Also Obi-Wan episode 3.
Lame.
All right, what do you want to talk about, Piers?
I want to talk about how nobody knows who wrote Who Let the Dogs Out.
Isn't it
That can't be
MC
true.
Hammer?
I'm gonna Google this.
It goes back like decades. Look it up. It's crazy. So, like,
Writer.
you got the classic Who Let the Dogs Out that everyone knows.
I don't know. Google
But
says
then-
it's Anselm Douglas.
But then, like, that's actually a cover of another song, or it, like, samples stuff from another song. And then, like, that one did the same thing. And it goes back, like, 5 different songs. It's crazy.
Where did you hear
I'm
about
not-
this rabbit hole?
I've seen, like, multiple videos on YouTube and TikTok.
When you Google "Who Let the Dogs Out" writer, the second thing in the list of suggestions is "Who Let the Dogs Out" a feminist song? And apparently it is.
Yo, let's go. All right.
Fascinating.
Criticizing men who catcall women.
Okay,
Hey,
and who
it's a
let
good
those
artist
guys
song.
go outside?
I guess so.
Bro, that song goes off. But I had to bring that up. But nobody knows that because it goes back like 5 or 6 different songs of like they all stem from one song. And it just like keeps evolving. We're overdue actually. We're overdue for a Who Let the Dogs
an
Out
answer?
event. No, we're overdue for another Who Let the Dogs Out. It's been like
Is it-
probably 30 years. I don't know when Who Let the 90s probably.
Is it are you talking about the sample they used goes back really far and no one knows where it actually came from? Or,
Yeah.
the actual lyrics to the song.
Both. I'm pretty.
Oh.
It's crazy, dude. I'll send you guys a video you can watch later. It's
I am
wild.
fascinated by this.
It's crazy. But yeah, Pokemon. Sorry to
Looked
drop
like
that
absolute
big
dog water.
rabbit hole on you guys, and then just switch right into Pokemon. But it had to be brought up. Look it up for yourselves, guys. Look up "Who Let the Dogs Out" conspiracy. It's
The
crazy.
manager of the Baja Men at the time heard a version of the song from Europe. He called Isaiah Taylor, who's Knight's bandmate, and told him it was an absolute must that Baja Men record that song.
Is that like Back to the
Because-
Future?
Look at this song.
You know
comes
that
back
new
to
sound you've been
possess.
looking for? Well, listen to this. Who let the dogs out?
It's a cover of the 1998 song "Doggy," which was written by Anselm Douglas. Oh my God, Anselm Douglas. Douglas himself claimed the song has nothing to do with dogs, and is actually a feminist theme.
So it sounds like he wrote it.
But then it goes back more. I don't know. It's crazy. I'm not in like a clear state of mind to be able to accurately recall the events, but it's crazy.
Oh yeah, because I'm on Wikipedia right now. It says, complicating matters further, 20 Fingers and Gillette, who the singer, not the razor brand, released "You're a Dog" in 1995, which was 3 years before the Anselm Douglas song, with the chorus saying "Who let the dogs loose," and with a similar rhythm to "Who Let the Dogs Out."
Bro, it's like a game of
And then there was a song
telephone.
in 1990. Yeah. Where the fuck did this song come from?
I told you it's crazy.
Oh, it goes back to 1986.
It's a whole
Holy
decade.
shit. Yippee-yi-yo.
It's crazy.
don't
I
know.
told you.
Yeah, it sounds like I don't know. It's like every decade this tune pops up and gets into the mind of a creative, and it becomes his sole muse, and he just must create a.
I told you we're
art
overdue.
project featuring.
We're overdue for
Yeah,
a
so-
Who Let the Dogs Out. But yeah,
Maybe
Pokemon.
it's just like it's not catching the charts anymore.
Yeah, maybe. The one legendary Pokemon looks like a dick and balls.
It does. The purple one.
Yeah, the one
I
that's got
love
like
It's
it.
even
jets.
it's even pissing in that one promotional picture.
It
I
is
must have
we
missed
need-
that one. Okay. If we're starting with the legendaries, I really liked the violet one, the one that looked like a mecha
I like.
That's
Pokemon.
the dick one.
Yeah, that's a dick.
Yeah, I was down with that. I thought that's a pretty cool idea.
They do look cool.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm like interested in the idea of like having co-op. That's really cool. But other than that, there's really not a lot that's selling me on this game. It's kind of like I don't care anymore. I'm not a big enough Pokemon fan to keep buying them if they're already seen as mediocre.
Yeah. It doesn't look like the graphics upgraded at all from Sword and
It
Shield.
looks like a downgrade. I don't know if I just haven't looked at that game in a while, but man, that
Sword and Shield
controller
was
was
pretty
rough.
bad.
I thought, when I was watching it, I had thought my like phone maybe wasn't getting enough like Wi-Fi or data strength, and like it wasn't fully like in HD resolution, but that wasn't the case. Yeah, I was shocked by that. But I mean,
Yeah.
I like the idea of being able to do the gyms in any order. That sounds pretty fun. You've got what's the Pokemon that's taken over the world?
Lechonk.
Lechonk,
It's just a fat pig.
looking good, but like it's just hard to like. I don't want to keep supporting this franchise if they're just gonna get comfortable with releasing a game every 2 years that looks like it's straight out of the GameCube era.
Yeah. Also, both of the professors are like really hot.
Yeah,
Hell yeah.
sure. That wasn't my takeaway, but
They could. I'm really hoping they add voice acting to this game.
oh, that bothered me so much in the trailer. It was just
Yeah.
quiet. It was like
Oh, if it's not in the
eerily.
trailer, we're not getting it in the game.
It was like eerily silent during the trailer.
Well, I don't
Like I
think
didn't like it.
I don't think in the Pokemon Snap trailer we got voice acting, did we? I don't know if you guys remember it.
No, I don't remember.
Was there voice acting
Um,
in the game?
There was at like major cutscenes instead
Well,
of just
Snap is different because all it really has to show is the Pokemon. Like that's going to be the main like focus is all the Pokemon you're taking pictures of. So it would make sense. Like it wouldn't like not make sense for there to not be voice acting.
Well, it makes more sense to have voice acting in the main game.
Well, yeah, but that's and that is not a good expectation to have.
Yeah.
They don't
There
put
are like
effort.
so many cutscenes. There's so many cutscenes in Sword and Shield where there's text on the screen, the character's mouth is moving, the the music in the background is like dampened, so like you think like, oh, maybe they're talking right now, and it's just like basically silence for like an entire cutscene.
Listen, if they don't want to have voice
It's
acting,
so noticeable.
if they don't want to have voice acting, fine. That's okay. At least have the characters like grunt or something when they talk. Like make some type
Yeah.
of noise when they talk.
Fuck it, just make every character do the fucking sans noise, and they'd be better than
Just
what they have
some
now.
noise other than silence. I don't know. It now that we're on like the hardware we're on, it like for the DS and the Game Boy it made sense, obviously. But they still haven't changed it and we're on a home console now.
Yeah.
Man,
I think this will be the first main Pokemon game that I don't get on release day.
part of the problem is too that apparently they have to release one of these games every 2 years because it goes beyond the game. There's the card game. I believe actually makes more money than the video games do, and but like so when they launch a new video game, they also launch with it the new season, I guess, of cards, and so
Yeah.
that probably rushes the development process and results in a lot of or lack of improvements that we've seen.
It's frustrating.
Yeah, but there's also like the card game can wait a year. There's 900 plus Pokemon that they can make cards of now.
Mhm.
Like,
They need
Yeah.
cards now more than ever. The market's getting wild. You still can't find Pokemon cards at stores most of the time.
the Target that we went to, um, the Target that was connected to the mall that we went to when we went down to Bloomington,
Mm-hmm.
it was like full stocked of like every type of uh,
Wow.
like every like recent expansion for Pokemon.
Wow.
I
Now,
was
if only
surprised.
they could
It
do that with
wasn't for a while
consoles.
there. Yeah. Hey, I that Target always has a Series S. So,
It does.
yeah.
Series S, Series S's and Switches are stuff that I still see in stores.
Yeah. I feel like most Best Buys always have a Series S on stock.
Walmart always has a ton of. They always have like the Animal Crossing Switch
I've seen that.
and like a Series S.
To
I
what
would get a
degree do you?
Series S, but
Oh, go ahead.
I want a disc tray because I have backwards compatible discs and stuff. What were
Yeah,
you
and
gonna say?
I also find it interesting. Like, I know it saves them a lot of money, but like the digital only console has less space than the Series X, and I
Hmm.
think that this game shuffling would be annoying. It already is on the Series X. But like pivoting back to Pokemon, like what degree do you guys think it's just like we're growing up? Like I for me,
It's
I loved Platinum, and I kind of started falling off the Pokemon train around White and White 2. And I always still got the games, but I was never like impressed like I was as a child, like blown away. And I think like for everyone, Pokemon's kind of like baby's first RPG, and I'm sure for certain, like for the next generation, like Sword and Shield, and now Scarlet and Violet probably will be those experiences for them that we had back on the DS.
Hmm. I don't know if it's like necessarily growing up. I think it's more of like getting jaded. At least it was for me, because like I still loved Pokemon like through Gen 6. Um, even I thought like X and Y were like pretty good games, yeah, even though it was like their first soiree into 3D. Um, but like with Sun and Moon, like you were getting like uh, the gameplay was fine, but like you were getting stopped like every half hour to watch a cutscene on information you probably already know,
Mhm.
and like that kept through to Sword and Shield, and I bet it's gonna come through to Scarlet and Violet too.
So what? See, I kind of have like a rocky. Well, first of all, to add to that, I think that like obviously we are growing up, but I think you can objectively look at these games compared to the older ones and see obvious flaws with them. And comparing these games to hell, games that are just on the same system that are just way better looking. Um,
Yeah.
the the game, I think it's a hard. My history. That's what I was going to say earlier. My history with Pokemon's kind of complicated because I like Pokemon. I'm a fan of Pokemon, but like I'm I'm like halfway. I'm like a middle ground of like casual fan and hardcore fan. And like I won't buy every game. Uh, but I enjoy playing the games I do play. And like I
Yeah,
really do. There are like Pokemon White is like one of my favorite games ever because I put a lot like I got really into Pokemon for that generation and like I loved it. I didn't even buy the sequels. Like that's how like non-devoted I am at buying the games. I haven't played the only Pokemon games I've owned are um, Leaf Green, Pearl, uh, White, Sun and Moon, and Arceus. I think are the only ones I've ever owned. Oh, and I have Blue on my 3DS.
So you skipped Sword and Shield.
Yeah.
See, I think I agree with you. Like when you look at like I think from a visual perspective, yes, when you compare it to other games on the Switch versus like comparing Pokemon on the DS to other DS games, like it's very flawed in that regard. But I think people who say that like Pokemon has failed to evolve or like, change and grow up with its audience, it's like it's always been that way. Like the formula for Pokemon has not changed. It's always been the same core thing forever, and usually they add like one, twist element in the game, like in
Hmm.
Sword and
And
Shield
I don't mind that.
Gigantamaxing. And I think they're still doing that, and it's fine. So
It
that's why I
why
think that like
don't
kids will still be enjoying those as much as we did when we were
don't fix
much
what isn't
younger.
broken.
Like I'm sure people during the Diamond and Pearl era even were like, who's still playing Pokemon? We're playing Final Fantasy VII now, whatever.
Every Pokemon game is gonna have its people. It
Yeah.
is one of those series that I do think you will grow out of, and it sometimes it can be easy to blame the game for that. But I do think that there are also genuine issues with the modern Pokemon games.
Yeah. I think going back to Black and White, I think that's like uh, one of the only times where they like made a major change in like the gameplay formula of Pokemon. Mostly before Gen 5, it was like a kid just running around and mashing through text boxes about a story that they like kind of cared about. Um, but then like in Gen 5 with Black and White, they like actually put like depth and more thought into a story.
And it was great.
And yeah, and people really liked it. So I think with then onward, they decided, oh, we need to make the story bigger and more a part of the game. But then it sadly turned out to be just going from one cutscene to the next, having 5 battles in between.
Gen 5 is just so perfect, bro. I love Gen 5. That is without a
Yeah,
doubt my favorite gen. And
I
I haven't
I
played
think
even
it
it, but
would.
it
played
doesn't
2.
stand out in my mind. Like I was definitely around during that era, and I think I had black, but I don't know.
I wish I
That
knew
doesn't
where my
stand out to me very much.
I wish I knew where my
Platinum was
DSi
it for me.
was because my DSi has white in it, and I just need to find that. I need to bring back the
Wow.
memories. I fucking loved white so much. I don't know why. I don't know what made me. I think I was just at the perfect age where I was like kind of getting into Pokemon a bit more. So I was like, I'm gonna get Pokemon White, and then I never bought another one until Sun and Moon. Um, but I played so much White, and it just like holds a special place in my heart. It's one of those games that like I just have like pure memories of. There's just this stupid mini game in it where you could like dress your Pokemon up and put them in like a dance pageant. I fucking loved that shit. It was so stupid, but you got to like dress your Pokemon like any way you wanted, and like give them like an accessory and stuff like that. It was stupid, but it was like fun. And they had like the battle trains where you could. There were like all the different types of battles you could do. They had triple battles. Now it was just a fun game. I would recommend going back and playing it if you're.
Yeah,
Also,
It's good.
shout out to a
yeah. I think it's.
niche. Oh, sorry, Jackson. Uh,
I was gonna say it's one of the best Pokemon games. Black and White and Black and White 2. It's like one of the best visually.
Yes.
Like they really had like the 16-bit. I don't even know if it's 16 bits, but like that style of art, like they mastered it by then. And like even though it was 2D, like all the Pokemon had life in them with like their
And
idle
oh yeah, that
animations.
that was the first time they had animations.
Yeah,
And the world is 3D to a certain extent. All the buildings are 3D now, like fully 3D. And like
yeah,
there's this part where you're like going over a bridge into like the New York City type place, and it's like this like beautiful looking like scenery. It's crazy. It's like a whole sequence. It's awesome. I would highly recommend playing it.
yeah. 3D sprite work is like what the main transition was from GBA to DS.
And they got good legendaries. Zekrom and Reshiram.
Reshiram.
Reshiram were like they like just cool.
Yeah, Black and White 2 was the only mainline Pokemon game I didn't buy.
And
Um,
I love White so much, and I didn't even buy them because I had already fallen out of my Pokemon phase.
Quick shout out to Pokemon, my favorite spin-off type Pokemon game from the DS era, Pokemon Ranger. I don't know if you guys ever played that game.
Ye
Bro,
Love that
yes,
game.
I
I'd love to
lost
see
my
that come
copy
back.
of Shadows of Almia, uh, like right after I beat it, and I was so pissed because I wanted to go through it again.
I did
Yeah,
never have it myself, but a friend had it, and I got to play it once or twice throughout the time.
it was
Great
stressful,
game.
man, having to complete those circles, and you had to get like more in a row for the stronger the Pokemon was.
Yeah,
Good
I
times.
remember. I remember like after play sessions, I would like turn off my DS and I could just see the reflection of like the circle indents on my touchpad.
But yeah, I have Pokemon related trauma. Uh, I can't think back to those DS era games without getting triggered. So I don't know if I told you guys, but my brother, when I moved away to college and he was left with all my old gaming wares, decided to sell every
yeah.
single one of my DS games. And so now the only like
Oh,
remnant I have of that era is the Pokewalker from Soul Silver and Heart Gold and the case for Pokemon Platinum.
Bro, that's so sad.
oh,
Dang.
I did something similar to my brother, and I'm really not
No.
happy about it because uh, it's I just like took all of his games, and I didn't want to sell those because like I would actually play them, but I also inherited his Pokemon card collection.
Oh no.
No.
None of them, I don't think any of them were in like good shape, but I had a lot of bulk from a lot of early Pokemon sets, and I sold like a, there were they were all in like a gallon bag, and there were so many of them that like the gallon bag could barely zip up,
Oh my
and I
god.
sold all of them for $20.
Oh,
Oh.
God.
Bro, that's
imagine how
fucking
much some may be
spending.
worth today.
Bro, that's fucking
Yeah,
spending Bitcoin on a pizza energy.
yeah,
That's awful.
yeah. I hope whatever I bought with that was worth it.
I was just talking about that earlier, how my Darth Vader voice changer, how I cut off when I was a kid the voice changer part of it. And I didn't I was
What?
5 years I got it on my fifth birthday. So I was young
Mm.
when I got it. So I didn't like think about, oh, this thing's like really cool. I should keep this in good shape. I'm like, no, I'm a kid. I'm like messing around in it. I'm acting like Darth Vader. I'm getting all beat up. And I cut the voice changer part off of it. And now I'm thinking, man, I wonder how much this thing would be worth if I kept it in like pristine condition. And
It's
not that I would ever sell
depressing
it. Like I would never
to,
sell it.
yeah, definitely don't. But it's depressing going on eBay now and looking at the prices of those original Pokemon games and like if you had them on the DS, just knowing that they were probably sold for like $5 in store credit at GameStop.
I'm definitely, if I have kids, I'm definitely teaching them to cherish the really cool stuff they get. Like when I was a kid, I did not take care of anything, bro.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I should me now would never let my DSi get lost. But I haven't seen that shit in 10 years. I have no idea where it is. It's just gone because
Damn.
I moved and uh I had lost my before I had moved like it's like 7 years ago. Um, I had already lost my DSi, like just somewhere in the house, and it had to have been found when we moved, and I just don't know
Yeah.
where it is. I never personally found it, but there's no way it wasn't found when we moved.
yeah. My dad, like, he was just passively into video games. It sucks that we like grew up to be collectors, and now like we look back upon what we had, and it hurts so much. I agree with you. I'm gonna
Hmm.
make sure my like every time my kid loses interest in a toy, it's like, all right, it's getting vacuum sealed for the next 20 years.
Or if I just think it's cool, like I can't believe my dad let me treat the voice changer like. Well, I mean, I guess at the time it's just a toy. It was probably like $20 or $30. Nothing
Mhm.
crazy. But I guess now I just take stuff more sentimentally, and I'm like, I would never do that if I got one now.
But it's because you like made those memories of it too, you know?
Yeah.
So kind of a cycle.
It's just frustrating to me thinking of all the cool stuff I probably had when I was a kid that I probably, dude, I had a SpongeBob plug and play, like you know the ones where like SpongeBob's nose is the joystick.
Oh yeah,
I
we
for
had
Yeah.
no
that too.
reason, I have no idea why I did it, and I remember vividly doing it. I took wire cutters and I cut the wire that plugs into the TV. I don't know why I did that.
Dang.
Maybe the game sucked.
No, I have good memories. Or I know if I saw them now, I'd be like, oh, I remember that game. That game's classic. It
Uh,
bothers me.
my dad had like the original Kenner Star Wars action figures. I
Oh,
remember he had Darth Vader, Obi-Wan, and a couple others. And I don't know, I really liked Episode 1. I liked Darth Maul. I decided as a kid that I was going to rip his Darth Vader in half. And it's not like the action figures now
No.
where, like, you know, you can do that and then, like, reattach them at the joints. It, like, broke a rubber band that was in him. And he was permanently in two pieces. And I think about my dad's face now when I showed him that I'd ripped his toy in half. And I feel so much for him.
well, when you're a kid, you don't think about the fact that one day these toys are going to be discontinued. They're going to stop making them. Like
Right.
Mhm.
I had a Millennium Falcon transformer that transformed into the front half transformed into Han Solo and the back half transformed into Chewbacca. And then I had a Darth Vader Death Star. The Death Star transformed into Darth Vader. I
I
still
had the
have the
Darth
Darth
Vader
Vader.
one.
I had that, but it's like in pieces now. And I think I have maybe like half of the Millennium Falcon still. Like I did not treat those things well. I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I flushed the or some of the stormtroopers that came with the Darth Vader down the toilet for some reason. I think I was playing with
Oh
them while I was on the
no.
toilet when I was like 6 years old, and they just fell in.
Feeling you're like, ah, well, shit, it's a goner.
Yeah. When I'd probably say like somewhere between like the ages of like 8 to 12, um, I would ask for like a Star Wars Lego set, like every year for Christmas, and I would always build them. And I kept them like in shape in my room for a while. But at some point, I just decided like I'm gonna fuck all this shit up. And I
No.
like disassembled all of them. And there was no shot that I like kept the instruction books back then to like build them back up. Um, and so like I I didn't care about it for like a couple years, and then I was like, oh, kind of wish I had I was able to build these back up again. I know there's probably resources online, but like all that shit's just in like bags now. And I had like I think all of my stuff was like Clone Wars era. So
With
I had like
the ugly minifigures.
probably but I had like the precursor to the I want to make sure it's the right one, the AT-AT. It was like an AT-AT, but instead of the legs, it's on wheels.
Oh.
And then I also had a Clone Wars gunship with like the balls that shoot lasers.
Mhm.
Nice.
I had the original Mustafar dual Lego
Oh,
with the Anakin and Obi-Wan
No.
minifigures that had batteries in their legs, and like the lightsaber was
What?
connected to their arm, so they
Oh,
lit up.
for some reason, I did not like have a lot of Star Wars Lego sets.
probably because they were fucking expensive.
Yeah.
Well, I had one uh that was like a like it might have been like General Grievous's like ship or something. I know I had General Grievous minifigure. I don't know if I had like another minifigure, but I definitely had General Grievous minifigure. And like other than that, like I don't know, I didn't get too many Lego sets, but I was still into Lego Star Wars. Like I played the game, obviously. I had the visual dictionary. It came with a like a Luke minifigure, like a special edition one. But it's what you were saying, Jackson, about like taking apart your Legos. I did the same. Like I would collect. I had some Legos that I really liked, and then at some point they just all wound up in pieces in a bin. And like even if I wanted to look up the instructions, it would be so difficult to dig through all of those pieces to find the ones I need if some haven't gone missing.
Man, quick Lego aside, what the fuck is up with all the cool motherfucking Legos there are now? Like, Legos were cool when we
Right?
were kids, but now there's just fucking crazy ones. Like, did you
Yeah.
see that new Sonic one?
Yes, I have.
I have not.
They made like the NES Lego, that
Mhm.
Mario question block that unfolds into the worlds.
The
Uh,
Mario Legos are. I don't know how I feel about the Mario Legos.
The figures are weird.
Like, it's cool that they're
hmm
interactive, but if I was a kid, I would also want like regular Mario like minifigures.
Fair.
yeah, it's definitely for like a much younger audience. It's mostly like the Lego Ideas sets are so cool. Ethan, did you
They
see
are.
the tall neck one?
Yes, that
I'm
looks
on like
Oh,
so
that one
a
cool.
looks sick.
that one's out of stock right now, and we're on like a mailing list for when it goes back into stock because that one's so cool.
I saw one. I think it was when we were at the mall again, Pierce. I think it was at GameStop,
Hmm.
but I'm pretty sure there was a sign on it that said like display only.
Um,
Dang.
I want the Seinfeld Lego set.
That one's cool.
You can make Kramer say the N word.
Classic.
Canon.
Um, no, kids these days have it so much better than we did. They got
They
all
don't
the
even know
cool
it, man.
shit,
They're just on
bro.
YouTube. They don't even care about
We
their
should
cool
punish it.
Legos.
We should punish them for that. They don't deserve to have things better than we did.
Bro, all
And
right, all
we
right.
should make their lives harder.
Listen up. We need to like start we need to like start a revolution, bro. Fuck growing up. Let's let us not be shunned for buying toys and playing with them, bro. Let
Bro,
us
I
have some
unabashedly
imagination.
buy and play with toys. I think this is a, you judging yourself problem, man.
I just want to buy my dollies and play dress up with them.
Exactly, bro. Do that with confidence.
Bro, I was running around earlier with my Darth Vader helmet on, and I had like guns and I was like shooting them.
I used to play with like up until last year. Um, I had that Luke. It's like the Luke Force FX lightsaber from
Hmm.
Episode 6, and like I'd get drunk and just swing that around and be playing with myself. But my
Welcome
brother
to the
was
Four
so
Man Children podcast.
fascinated with it, and I knew that like my big growing up moment was giving my brother my lightsaber, and I swear to fucking God, if he sells that, I will ring him out.
Oh man.
Bro, you gotta take it back from me.
I'm worried, dude. 5 years from now, he's gonna pawn off my green lightsaber for some weed or something.
Is it one of those like really expensive lightsabers?
Yeah, it's before the Disney ones, but it's the ones where the sabers were attached, but the hilts were metal.
Oh, that the
Those are
ones
so
where like
cool.
they had like the smaller lightsaber on the bottom, and you could like take them apart. Those were
Um,
so fucking cool.
yeah,
They were
you
like
can't
regular
take the
toy
blade out.
ones.
Uh,
They were like so they were just like basic toy lightsabers. They like lit up and like made noises when you hit them. But they were
these were the
like
ones that
cheap
were like
ones you could get
$150.
at Walmart. Yeah, no, these ones were probably like 15 or 20 at Walmart.
Nice.
Um,
No, why haven't we done that for a bull? We go to Walmart, we buy like the cheap
buy
ass plastic
lightsabers.
lightsabers and do like a duel.
That would
Bro,
be
that would be
sick.
awesome.
Yeah, yeah. At my childhood home, I had a stock of like the collapsible ones that everyone had.
I do.
Yeah,
I have a couple of them at home.
I was that guy in the
Mhm.
neighborhood, like choose your weapon.
Yeah.
Yes.
I had a. We used to have, or I think we still have the Darth Vader one. But I also had a Anakin Skywalker one. But we also, like sometime later in my childhood, got a lightsaber that was, it's the same hilt as Qui-Gon Jinn, but it has a red blade.
Interesting mashup.
I had Mace Windu's, Qui-Gon's, Obi-Wan's, and Anakin's.
Oh, that's so cool.
I know for sure I had Anakin's, and I know I had a green one, but I have no idea whose it was. I
Bro,
did not pay attention to that at that age.
bro, Ethan used to have this like droid blaster that was just like always in his closet. I don't
Yeah.
even know what it was.
It was a droid blaster that was meant to hold a can of silly spray, actually.
Yo,
It
Like
didn't
you
even
could shoot
shoot
it at people?
darts. Yeah, it was meant to hold the silly spray and you could just shoot it at people.
bro,
That's
that's
sick.
awesome.
I had that, but it was Spider-Man.
That one makes more sense.
This was a droid blaster.
Yeah, I always remember I'd always get in Ethan's closet because he always had cool shit just piled up in there,
Dude, my cousins
and
had one of
that
those
was always
too.
in there.
Like
Is
just
it just a cousin
Nerf
thing?
closet. I guess.
It's always weird. It's always the cousins, but it's never you, even though you're their cousin.
They must have another cousin.
Yeah, the chain must go.
Sam, are you talking about the cousins I live nearby?
Yeah, yeah.
I'm pretty sure I have a vague memory of accessing their Nerf stash at one point.
Yeah, it was in their basement, and it was like an under the stairs closet. Just a wonderland
Bro.
in there. I was always
It was
like, you
sick.
guys don't appreciate this shit enough. Like,
Bro.
Oh, that actually reminds me of something that I forgot to put down on my topic list. Um, so, at that ripe young age, when all we could really do for fun was to like hang out with the neighbor kids and just like play outside.
Mm-hmm.
Two of those people in that group were Sam's cousins, who lived right across the street from me. The younger one, which I think was just a year above us, Sam.
yeah.
Yeah, he was like okay, but the older one, who was like a good couple of years ahead of us, was like basically a bully to like most of the kids around us.
Whoa.
Um, and it like never got like bad or like physical. Just mostly like smart ass comments.
Just emotional
Um,
abuse.
Yeah, classic stuff like that. So like we would all just like hang out, play stupid games that we would come up with. And then like once we started like growing out of that, it transitioned into like everyone got an Xbox. And at one point I was playing with Sam and one of the cousins, which I knew who they were. I was playing with the younger one for a good while with Sam. And then all of a sudden I meet this new guy who I don't know the name of. He's like pretty cool. We like go into like custom games and MW2 and like quick scope on a high rise and stuff. And I played a couple games with him, and then we find out in lobby that he's the older cousin, and he realizes who I am. He's like, "Oh fuck, that's Jackson." And then we never played another game of Xbox together again.
What the fuck? Damn. Yeah, those guys. Man, yeah, they're characters. That
Yeah.
older one, he's a lot better now.
Yeah, didn't you go to military or something?
Yeah.
Ethan, do you
pretty good.
remember? Ethan, do you remember setting up all the Nerf guns in your room because we thought there was a house intruder?
Bro, yes. But
Oh yeah,
wasn't
you
it,
guys
like,
would have got him.
we
Ethan
had
had
the
the
whole
turret,
arsenal going.
the
I
belt
had the
fed.
turret.
Bro.
Oh damn, bro. See, my cousins had that.
Yeah, those were so cool.
There was like a dream catcher missing from the wall, and Ethan thought that someone was in the house and was stealing. So we went upstairs and we like grabbed all his Nerf guns and we faced them all towards the door. It turns out it was just his dad. He just took it off the wall.
Someone stole the dream catcher.
There's an
Bro.
intruder in here. We gotta get him with our Nerf guns. We were gonna like Home Alone.
He's trying to give us nightmares, bro.
We should have put like thumbtacks in the Nerf darts.
Do you guys ever have? It was like Nerf guns, but they shot Orbeez.
No.
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 There was like commercials for this for a while, and I feel like I'm the only person who actually ended up getting one. I'm trying to make sure like I didn't just come up with this in my head as a fake memory.
No, I know what you're
But
talking
no one I
about.
talked to is like owned one of these. But you know what it is?
Yeah.
Yeah, those
Yeah, I
things.
know.
I do not remember
Those
them.
things were cool. And then, what was the coolest Nerf gun you guys had? I think mine it was like a Tommy gun where you held the trigger and you just like pumped it really fast. Or I guess it was kind of like the striker shotgun from Modern Warfare 2.
I don't know.
I only ever had like two like I only ever had like two like full-sized ones. I had like a couple one-shot pistols. Um, but the two like full ones I had, one was it was like a bigger gun, but like on the front you loaded it. It was like a ring on the front, like kind of like a revolver. And you loaded it, and it was like pump action, so it only shot one at a time. So like it wasn't like that amazing. But then another one I had was like basically just a rifle. You had it had like a, a clip that you loaded up and then put in, and it also had like detachable like scopes and like a laser pointer, and it was pretty fucking sick.
Yeah, I think I had that same like rifle that had like the detachable, like you could turn it into like a pistol, a rifle,
Oh,
or like a.
I had one too.
That thing was so cool.
Yeah.
Uh,
Ethan
You
check.
you sounded like you were gonna say something there. You didn't.
um,
Yeah. All right. So, anyways, I think my favorite one was I had this blue like rifle one. I liked it because it was automatic, but actually probably the coolest one I had is the one I just bought like a year ago, which is uh Master Chief's assault rifle, the Halo assault rifle as a Nerf gun.
I was mad that I could never get any automatic ones.
There aren't enough Star Wars
uh,
Nerf guns. Like they appear throughout the years, like sometimes, but I feel like that's a pretty good market is Star Wars Nerf guns.
I guess is that because
there,
Hasbro does Hasbro own
no,
Nerf?
there are some now.
No,
My,
there are, but they're not as like big of a thing.
uh, I don't know. My cousins on the other side have them on Grammy Nan's side.
Grammy Nan.
Shout out Grammy Nan.
Love Granny Nan.
Did you guys get into airsoft at all?
I wanted
Actually,
to.
I did briefly.
I was afraid of airsoft for a while because the aforementioned cousins of
Oh,
mine that Jackson knew. I specifically remember it was during the Super Bowl. The younger one actually and his pals were outside playing with airsoft guns, and my uncle had a refrigerator in his garage where he'd keep sodas and things like that. Um,
hmm.
Hell yeah.
so like I don't know, halfway through halftime, I decided to step outside, and one of those assholes shot at me with an airsoft gun, and it put a hole in my tooth.
Ah,
What?
Yeah, um, and so I had to get that filled, and I was terrified of Nerf guns or
yeah, I would be
airsoft
too.
guns from there on out. I
Holy
mean,
shit.
nowadays I'd play
Yeah,
with them, but I'd be keeping my mouth nice and shut.
Have you guys ever done
Yeah.
damn.
paintballing?
Yeah,
Yes,
paintball's fun.
No.
I haven't.
We should do that
I would
sometime.
like to.
we should.
But I think
Be cool.
airsofts were like the perfect. They were like the perfect transition from. Even though I've always liked Nerf guns, still they're like the perfect transition from Nerf gun, airsoft gun, and then real gun.
Yeah.
Because the airsoft guns were appealing to me because they were fake guns, but they looked real.
Mm-hmm.
So then, I was still young enough where I'm like pretending I'm in the house, like playing Call of Duty, 'cause I'm like young enough
Pe-
to do that still.
yeah. People don't talk enough about the Nerf to airsoft to paintball to real gun pipeline. Yeah.
Yeah, see
Uh,
that's a solution. Ban Nerf guns.
um, another one of the just stupidest games that me and the neighbor kids thought of. Um, I remember it was like me and then like both of my next door neighbors. Uh, we were at my just in my friend's what the fuck is it called? Driveway. It's called a driveway.
Haven't
We
had
were in my
one in
friend's
years.
driveway. We would usually go over there because he had a basketball hoop. Um,
Yo, classic driveway.
Yes.
and I just remember like one time after playing basketball, my friend brings out like his airsoft pistol that he just recently got. And for some reason we decided to play outrun the airsoft gun.
What?
We would
How
just
do you
go in his
outrun?
backyard. We would just like go in his backyard. Um, the person would just like stand there with the gun, and then we would give the runner a 5 second head start, and then they would have to like run away and like try to dodge the airsoft bullets.
No,
That's kind of
I like the
epic.
idea. I like the idea that they have to outrun the pellet. Like they have
Yeah.
to move faster than the pellet.
They shoot just slow enough that you could do like a little throw yourself in one direction to avoid it after it's been
Yeah.
shot. Like that was probably a very tense and strategic game. I like it.
Yeah. But I was also fat and slow, so I always got hit.
Oh fuck.
Damn.
Did you guys ever play Swinging Metal Death Trap?
Yes.
Can't say I did.
No.
Enlighten me.
So like everybody is on swings, right, going back and forth, and you just have to run in between them. And you
Oh,
cannot go outside of the bars of the swing.
pretty sure I was too scared to do that.
Bro, I hated the
I've-
motherfuckers at the playground who would always like be swinging all crazy, going like left and right. It's like, motherfucker, if you kick me. Anyway, sorry, I feel like I cut you off there, Jackson.
You had some you had to let it out. It's fine.
No, I never played that, but I do hold the belief that the swings were the highest tier of playground fun.
They were. The swings are elite.
Nah, it's all about the play sets and
Uh-huh.
playing like the floor is lava, or like we used to do
Yeah.
like one guy could be on the mulch and like could climb up the ladders but couldn't step on the surface of the
Platforms.
playground, and like
Mm.
and so it was kind of like an infection type game where he would tag someone and then that person would then like go onto the mulch and like be climbing ladders until like there was
I
one
must
person
have played that
left.
with you guys. I remember that.
It was
Bro,
a lot
that
of
sounds
fun.
awesome. Let's play that.
Yes.
Yeah. It would be like episodic too, because like we would always like whoever was it at the end of recess would be it at the start of the next one.
Yo,
Yes.
bro, how was season 1?
That's awesome.
Was it as good as season 2? I always heard it had a slow
I don't know.
start.
Season 1 kind of fell off and then it got canceled.
Another weird game I played with my cousins was we just called it lava, right? And so there was no restrictions as to where the person who was like it could go, but they had to have a blindfold on, and so everyone else was being quiet and like somewhere on the playset, and the person who was it had a blindfold and a dodgeball, and their goal was to like listen and try and or like walk around, you know, aimlessly and try and find and tag someone, but also they could throw the dodgeball at them and it would count. That was a lot of fun too.
That's epic.
Did you guys ever play mat ball in
Yes.
school?
That sounds
Classic
familiar.
gym game.
Was that like indoor kickball?
Yeah.
but
with
where
mats
you can
and
like all stay
bases.
on a base at once.
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
And you could like launch it at a wall too. The ball.
Absolutely.
Bro, there were some elite games in gym.
Dude, the
Oh.
fucking scooters where you just like lay down on them.
Charbade.
Charbade, bro.
What about the
That
parachute?
game was so sick.
The parachute where we all stand around it and flap it.
Yeah. No, but then
and
you
then
no, but
get
then you go
under it.
inside and you sit it, and then it like
Yeah.
defies gravity because it stays. It doesn't like all the air stays in it. It doesn't like deflate.
Yeah, it traps the air.
It's crazy. And then you got
was
sometimes you
sick.
throw a ball in the mix, you flip it up in the air. Shit's wild, bro.
We would just be running back and forth like between the umbrella spots.
Oh,
Bro,
yeah.
fucking love that shit.
My elementary school gym was so weird. I remember like multiple instances of like learning days where like I specifically remember like one health day where it's like you learned about the digestive system, but it was set up like an obstacle course.
I know what you're
I
talking
know what you're
about.
talking about. What? That's such a, that
I
unlocked
didn't do
a
it at
memory.
I didn't do it at my school, but I've done that at a place before, like some like learning place.
Yeah, I
Whoa.
like specifically remember like going through like those tubes, and like there was one part where
Mhm.
we had to walk across a balancing beam for some reason. But
It's just like the lungs.
yeah,
When you guys were in school, in elementary school, did you guys have like the weekly classes where like you would have like music and art in gym and they were
Yeah,
They're
like
on
weekly
rotation.
classes? Yeah.
Yeah.
they rotated.
What was up with that?
I don't
Did you
know,
give
because I
her
just wanted it to be
and it was
gym
at the
all the
it was at the
time.
and it was at the beginning of the
Yes.
day too, so it's like they're not even giving the teacher that big of a break.
Ours were at the like middle. I think it
Ours were
depended
kind of
upon
towards
what
the big.
time
It depended
you
on what
had.
grade you were in, but
Yeah.
ours were
yeah.
typically like first, like or like second hour.
One thing I
Yeah,
think
I think mine were after lunch.
I have no idea. They might have been staggered, probably for like different classes, went
Hmm.
at different
Mhm.
times.
Yeah,
Because there was only
Yeah.
like one or two art teachers I remember. And, yeah.
yeah. I don't know why, but like that just brought up a memory of like me like after lunch, and then like going like down. I can like vividly remember the hallway to my gym, or like to the school gym,
Hmm.
and it's so weird because I have not thought about that in 18 years,
Bro, shit's wild.
or I guess 15.
Memories are
I was not in
crazy, bro.
elementary school when I was 4.
You sure?
Memories are whack.
Fucking love
Got me
that
thinking
shit.
about one game we played in elementary school that like couldn't have been safe. It wasn't, but like it was sanctioned by the school, and it was we call it was reindeer, and we had those like Charbade scooters, right, and a jump rope, and it was like one person sat on the scooters while another kid held onto the jump rope and sprinted. And I just remember that being like fun, but also chaos
That
when kids are
that
like
does not sound
swinging their
safe.
Charbade like scooter kids into other kids.
I'm pretty sure a lot of schools have stopped using Charbades too, just because they were like death traps for your hands.
Yeah.
It's because
Mhm.
people didn't use them right. People thought the things on the side were handles, but they're actually knuckle guards. And because you know the handles like go around, so you can put your hand inside the handle. You're supposed to do that and grip onto the board, not grip onto
Oh,
the outside, and it
I'm pretty
keeps
sure
your
I just had
hand
my
safe.
hands out.
Yeah,
I
same.
had like I had my hands out where I was just like crawling
Yeah,
over
I
the
was holding
place.
on to a jump
Mhm.
rope.
Sam went a little crazy.
Yeah.
But that I remember like we'd do it maybe like twice a year, and then like when that popped up, it was a big deal because you get to like ram your partner into other kids and fun times.
Okay, but what was the better class? Gym or computer lab?
Gym.
Gym.
I don't even remember computer lab in elementary, so gym.
Computer lab in elementary was pretty lit.
Computer lab in elementary was pretty lit. They had some bonfire games, and we got to vote for like Obama or
That's-
we did.
I
We
did
got to
not. I
do.
don't
The
remember doing
best
that.
part of computer lab was when I voted for Obama.
No, it actually. That
what are you
happened.
talking about?
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Did you have like a mock election?
Hmm.
Hmm.
In
And we,
computer lab?
it was like a big deal. We got to go down to the computer lab and like do this whole like election like simulation and cast a
Bro,
vote.
I don't think I ever did that.
I remember watching the election like in school,
I do
but
too.
I don't remember
Or we watched the
casting a vote on a
inauguration.
computer.
Man, I miss
Oh yeah, it
field
must have been
trips
the
though.
inauguration.
Field
Field
trips
trips
were
were
where it was
Bro,
always
at.
great.
field trips were bomb.
Bro, one time when I was in like first grade, I think we went to a pumpkin patch. First grade or kindergarten? I think it was first grade. We went to a pumpkin patch, and they had like this giant pile of corn that you can climb, or it's just
What?
The
like it's in a
corn
giant
pile.
silo. It's in a silo, and it's like going to be fed to like animals or something. Like it's not corn that's for human consumption. So
I wonder how many kids
they let
went
kids just
under and
climb
died.
on it.
That's what I was thinking.
No, it's a lot more solid. It's really dense with all the corn, but like the outer layer is like soft. It's just fun to climb up. But they just had that there. It's just a giant pile, and I threw up in it. I got sick and I threw up in the pile.
Dude. You know that they just like hosed that shit off too, like just pushed it further into the pile.
Yeah, I don't know. I may have ruined their entire pile of corn.
God.
I don't know why I threw up, but I remember throwing up.
I want to know if like how many other like kids from like other states also experienced a corn pile. That sounds so much like Indiana.
Hey, we're
Yeah,
going
the
to see the
California
corn
kids like
pile.
went to Hollywood, and we went to the local pumpkin patch and met Farmer Jack.
Bro,
Got to play in his
Connor
corn pile.
Prairie.
Most of the early field trips were like go to a farm.
You guys
mainly
remember
Connor
milking the
Prairie.
mechanical cow at Connor
Yes,
Prairie?
I did it at the state
I
fair.
do remember that.
And then my brother got stung by a bee on his ear, and we had to go to the first aid. And his ear was super big and red.
Damn, that sucks for him.
I was so sad to recently find out that they were racist.
Who's
Who?
racist?
Fair?
Connor
Bees?
Prairie.
Oh, I could have seen that from a mile away. They had like you could go there and it was like a North Star, like
Yeah,
pretend
couldn't
to
you
be a
like do the
slave
like
day.
underground railroad?
Yeah, that's what it is. You got to pretend to be on the Underground Railroad.
Yeah,
I have no memory.
knock
of
out
doing
a
that.
baby to keep it silent. That's part of the experience. That's real. That happened.
They give you a baby doll and they're like cover its mouth until it stops like shaking.
She would no, she would like knock them out.
I don't remember any of the slave stuff, which is probably for the
I
best.
don't either. The only thing
but-
I remember about Connor Prairie from when I was a kid is their Halloween thing, and they had like the headless horseman.
Yeah.
I remember that. Yeah.
Also, we've just been talking about this. By the way, Connor Prairie is like a facility. It's like a living museum, right? They have like a standard museum part at the center, but then also like kind of village, pioneer type layouts. where
It's like go
you
back
did
in
little
time.
activities.
It's like go
Yeah.
back in time to the early or late
Larpes and
1700s,
Pilgrim.
early 18.
Scalp a native.
Yeah.
Classic stuff. The only childhood memory of Connor Prairie that I remember is like our class was just like in a building. I think we were like watching a guy like churn butter,
Yo.
and
I
we were
remember
just
that
like
guy.
asking him, and I remember he was just like, "Oh, why are you guys all here?" And I was just like, "We're on a field trip," and I was like, "You're on a trip to the field? Why are you doing that?"
This guy
And
is
I
too
got-
That was your first encounter with a high person.
I unironically got pissed at him because I was like, "You know what a fucking field trip is."
Did you guys have pioneer days at elementary school?
We had Indian days, dude. I need to find them. Like we made quote unquote Indian dresses where we like wrote in like hieroglyphics on them and attached beads. Literally, like the most brain dead thing I
Hieroglyphics?
think about looking back is like to go when we did like the Aztec, part like it was like we'd rotate and do different things in different classrooms, right? So in the one I made the dress, another maybe we like did a teepee, and then we made headdresses, like it's the whole 9 yards. And then in one of them we made fucking quesadillas,
Yo.
like the Aztecs did.
Pioneer Day was like this day, like in the spring, I think, where you would just like it was basically like Connor Prairie at your school. You could make, but they had like a lot of activities you could do. You could make your own candles. You would learn square dancing. You could churn your own butter. It was just like this day for like, the pioneers.
Yeah.
What you were talking about, Sam, sounded a lot like World's Fair. Did you guys ever do a World's Fair in elementary?
Don't think so.
I don't think so.
The closest
Our
thing we did
school-
to that was like I don't know, we had to like pick a famous person, then everyone dressed up as their famous person and had like a trifold poster board and to act like that person.
I had that too. I was George
Yeah.
Washington.
So
I
at
was
our
Mahatma
school,
Gandhi.
Muhammad Ali.
yo,
Uh-oh.
Hmm.
Did you go full blackface? Or...
Nah, just the boxing gloves.
So at our school we have the World's Fair, where every classroom would be given I think it was every classroom, uh, would be given a country, and they had to do different stuff based on that country. So like they would have to make food. They'd have to make a food that was based on that country. They would have to make decorations. They would have to have outfits based on that country. And it was just like a whole day
Man,
where like you would work at your country, and then like you would also get free time where you could walk around the World's Fair. It was
that
super
sounds
cool.
cool.
The trying out all the different foods was cool.
I wish we did shit like this in high school.
Right?
I
Hmm.
feel like that
Yeah,
would have actually been like fun.
it would have. Did you guys take like a cooking, like nutrition and wellness class?
I
Oh yeah,
never did.
senior year.
Never did.
Bro, I did. That shit was the most fun stuff. Like that shit made senior year for me.
I was always
Yeah,
jealous. They'd be
same.
like making pies in there.
I should have taken my teacher's advice because she every single time we would make something, she would ask me if I was like going to culinary school. So apparently I don't know what
Mm.
happened to that ability, but apparently I was a really good cook.
Dude, what do you mean
Carries
what
over.
happened? You make amazing garlic burgers.
Okay, but
Bro,
that's like the
yes.
one thing, and that doesn't take like a lot of work. I made
You
like a
just
full
gotta
pizza from
diversify your
scratch.
portfolio.
I made a whole pizza from scratch.
Boom.
Hell yeah.
One of my friends was having an issue with his dough wasn't rising or something. I was like laughing at him, like just joking around. And my teacher comes up and she like seriously goes, she's like she knew we were friends. Like she knew I wasn't like making fun of him. But she was like, they just all or not everyone's gonna be as good of a chef as you are. Like she said that like seriously to me.
It's never too late to
Like
go to
right in front
culinary
of his
school.
face. Bro, I might have to.
See, I think I would have been interested in that once upon a time, but then you like think about the hours that you're working, and you're like always working at dinner time. You
Mm-hmm.
know,
Yeah.
like
Mhm.
no, like Saturday evenings every Saturday. You wouldn't really get a break. So I think that kind of makes it
Yeah.
a drawback. But the skills would be really nice to have.
Yeah. Plus, Pierce, if you go to culinary school, that means you get to be the head chef when we open a bar.
Yes, let's go.
Yes,
I mean, do bars have chefs? I think they just have
Ours
cooks.
ours
will.
will. Yeah,
5-star bar. We're gonna get a
Yep.
Michelin star?
Bar.
We're getting 3, bro.
No way. That's impossible.
also, I know people can't see Pierce right now, but I keep like I think it's the color scheme of whatever cup you're using that it always looks like you're drawing a sippy cup up to your face every time.
It's a cup
That's
with a
it.
straw. It has a straw. It's not a sippy cup.
It
It's full of wine.
does look like. Nice.
Nice.
No.
It does look like you could put a lid to a sippy cup on it. It would just be for kids.
Bro, what's wrong with that? Sometimes I need.
Yeah, why did
Bro.
we stop using sippy cups? I mean, that's like we wouldn't have, if we normalized sippy cups, like no more straws. We could have that solved.
Yeah, that is true.
Right.
Why haven't like at least like why haven't like coffee cup lids been?
Starbucks do kind of have sippy cups now.
Yeah.
But like you know how coffee cup lids like they have the little flap you can open and close. Why don't regular drinks
Mhm.
just
Yeah.
have that to get rid of straws? Maybe it's just that straws are easier to use when driving, and a lot of these places have drive-through.
Yeah.
Probably.
There's some lids in restaurants that have that option where you just like tear that little piece and then you can open and close it.
Yeah. I don't know how we started talking about lids.
We started at Pokemon.
No, we didn't. We started at
That
who let
was
the dogs out.
Pokemon is the topic that without like switching topics naturally flowed to this point.
That's crazy.
Anyone have thoughts on the state of play?
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. It was whatever.
I thought Stray looked sick. The cat game.
Stray did
We
kind
that
of look
was in the
sick.
that was shown in like the PS5 reveal, wasn't it? Because I
Yeah.
remember that.
Yeah,
I thought it looked
but
cool.
apparently it's like a cyberpunk, apocalyptic future game. where you're just kind of experiencing the world through the perspective of a cat. It's an interesting idea.
Yeah.
Resident Evil 4 remake. Since Resident Evil 2 remake came out, I got into all the modern Resident Evil games. I'm very excited for that game.
I have not played. I have not played Resident Evil 4. I've barely played any Resident Evil games. I'm a fan out from as an outsider, but like I like watching those games, but I
Mhm.
don't really like playing them because I'm a big wuss. I'm a scaredy cat.
Yeah. I loved 7 and 2 remake to the point where like I kind of did like a couple speed runs of them. Not like looking at like actually how to run the game, just like
Mhm.
see how fast I could do it, and that was pretty fun. I never got into 3 because I thought it was too much money for how much of the game you actually got.
The remake?
Um, yeah, so I
Yeah.
was waiting for it to go on sale, and then I just never bought it. But I probably will at some point. Um,
I enjoyed
and
it. It
then
is short, but
yeah, and then I haven't played 8 past. I don't even have it, and so I've never played past to where we got to when we played it together.
you should
And
definitely go back and play 8. It's great.
yeah, I know I need to, but I also I also don't remember most of the game because I'm pretty sure I was high for most of it.
Speaking of Resident Evil 8, they're both 8 and 4 remake are going to be compatible with
VR.
PSVR 2. And I played
Ooh.
on my a pal of mine had Resident Evil 4, like the shitty one, not the shitty one. People like
The
consider
old
that
one?
one of the like greatest games of all time. Yeah, the old one with tank controls. That's why I can't get into the old ones, is the tank controls are just so dated. So I tried playing it in VR, and I know like that game is not considered to be one of the scarier Resident Evils, but that was like I couldn't do it, and I can't imagine doing 8 or this remake in VR. But I'm
I wanted to
certainly
play
gonna
7
try.
so badly because like that was like the first Resident Evil in a while to like actually have uh like modern horror elements.
7 VR was crazy because it was like a full game in VR, and it was like that's probably one of the highest like budget VR games. Because a lot of VR games have to sacrifice stuff, and that one was just full on Resident Evil 7 in VR.
Yeah.
It's cool. I've heard Half-Life Alyx is good, but I haven't. I've
Yeah,
honestly never gotten into the Half-Life series in general. I own them all.
they're pretty good.
Never really.
I had the orange box on 360, which
Yo.
was Half-Life 2, Portal, and TF2.
Wait,
And that's how I got into Portal, and then later Portal 2 once I
Portal's
had a
cool.
PC. Portal is fucking sick.
Are you guys getting the Switch releases?
Maybe. If
Probably
do we
not.
know how much they're supposed to be?
I don't know. I think it's like 40 maybe. Or no,
I
maybe it
think
might be
that's
even
too
cheaper. I
much.
don't think it might be
So I do
cheaper. I don't,
20
let
or
me look.
30.
I do.
Yeah, I already have them on PC,
Mhm.
so I'm probably not gonna get them.
I also have them on Steam because they were
I do
on
have them on Steam too, but
I feel like if you have Steam, you probably have those games.
yeah. I got all the Valve games when they were extremely cheap. Oh, no, it's only $20.
Oh yeah, I'll probably get that.
They're usually like whenever the summer sale comes around, they're usually like a couple bucks for like 4 of the big games. What else was there? I've never Dead Space always looked cool, but I never played it.
Yeah.
Um, and then so Callisto, probably same for Callisto Protocol, because it's the same guys who made them, and it's probably set in the Dead Space universe because it looked like a lot of similar stuff.
It's not. It's like a spiritual successor to the game. But like
Okay.
interestingly, we're getting and yeah, that's from the original developers. We're getting that this holiday, and then I think a couple months or a month later, we're getting the Dead Space 1 remake. So I think I'll try to play both of them because yeah, the Calypso Protocol looked great, and I've heard great things about Dead Space 1.
Did they release a price for
Uh,
the PSVR 2?
I've been sitting comfortable with my next gen or current gen now consoles. not excited to be back in the trying to buy hardware game whenever this
Bro, I would
PSVR
just
2 comes
not
out.
because that shit's gonna
For
that. There's no way that shit isn't like $500 at
I would
minimum.
do it. Apparently, it's gonna be the like top end VR headset when it
Yeah.
comes out. Like, and I just want it even for Horizon, Call of the Mountain, Resident Evil 4,
hmm
and even just like things like Beat Saber. I think that'll be finally when I get onto VR. It's gonna have the adaptive like the controller is supposed to have the HD rumble and adaptive
hmm
triggers. It's gonna be really
Mhm.
interesting.
The one thing about PSVR that disinterests me is I'm assuming there's an inability to mod.
I'm sure there's a way. It's probably gonna be more complicated than with the
Because like
Quest,
Beat
but
Saber without mods is not appealing at all. I know as someone who used to not have mods on their Beat Saber, it is not like fun. It's not fun when you don't really know the songs.
yeah.
Mhm. There's no official price for the VR2 yet. Um, for some reason, a lot of people uh, are saying it's probably going to be $400, but I'm pretty sure the original was 500, wasn't it?
I don't think it
At
was
at
that
launch,
much.
it might have been at launch and then uh, went down to 400 later. Um, but yeah, my guess is that is gonna be 500.
I think at least 500 because the specs in it are crazy. And then you add that up with the fact that you probably won't ever be able to find one.
Yeah.
PSVR launched at MSRP $300.
What?
Oh.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's
Or
pretty
okay,
cheap.
no, this one says 400. Okay, launching at 400. I
Okay.
wonder if maybe it was one of them. Maybe the $400 bundles if you needed the Move controllers. I'm
Maybe.
not sure.
They might have sold one with and without controllers. Because all they were Move controllers. And couldn't you use the VR uh and a regular controller too? Like with
I
like
think so.
Resident Evil
Yes.
7, I'm pretty sure you used a regular controller. I don't know though, because obviously I didn't have one. Do you think they're gonna have another state of play? Like, because I don't know, that's not comparable to a like an E3 event. Like I think a lot of people thought it would
Yeah.
be.
Yeah, because it was all majority third party. I think we're gonna get another one that'll be maybe updates on things like Wolverine and Spider-Man 2, but they'll definitely do a God of War focused one before God of War
Yeah.
comes out this holiday.
Yeah.
We got the Xbox showcase coming up in 4 days.
Yeah, we'll have Summer Games Fest, Xbox, and maybe even a Direct to talk about next week.
They still haven't
Yeah.
announced that direct. There's no way they would have announced it, but they always announce them at the like big ones, always like a week in advance, typically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty
Going back to
sure.
the state of play, I put down Eternite because I'm a degenerate and I love anime themed games.
Cringe.
Hold R2 to
Especially,
hold hands.
yeah, dude. It's a fucking action and a dating sim.
Oh, I heard about that.
Finally, it's great. And then I've never played any of the modern Street Fighter games, but I think I'm gonna get Street Fighter 6 because that looks sick.
I don't know.
Every time I've bought a Street Fighter game, I've been frustrated at how bad I am at it, so I think I'm going to pass on this one.
Yeah.
It's crazy looking at like Ryu's design in Smash and then looking at him at Street Fighter 6.
Bro, he's wide.
He's like double the size.
So is it just a community joke that Ken got a divorce, or is that actual canon?
I saw it on TikTok and I hope that it's real. I saw a rumor that one of the main one of the plot points in Street Fighter 6's story is that Ken is going through a divorce and his wife took the kids, who's like his wife is like an actual like character in universe. I don't remember her name. And so like he's depressed and has lost his fighting mojo and so your
Damn.
character has to help him get his fighting spirit back.
I hope that's the single player.
I really hope it's real because that'd be hilarious.
Did you guys see that Nickelodeon All Stars Brawl added voice acting?
Oh, really?
No, I
Yeah.
didn't.
Anyways.
I mean, maybe that'll help. Maybe that'll help the the game get better. We were just talking about fighting games. It made me remember that.
Oh, yeah, I was just joking around. No one, I haven't heard anyone talk about that game, but it does seem like people are excited for the major verses or
Multiverses.
multiverses.
Yeah, that seems like that is what Nick All Stars Brawl should have been.
Hmm.
Even though they're now adding Q Neutron, which is good.
Yeah, from the two people who still play the game, I've heard that it's actually good.
Yeah, I never heard like bad things. I think it just suffered from a lack of uh support maybe, or just like a lack of polish. I think it is.
And the last thing for state of play that I wanted to talk about, or at least mention, was Final Fantasy 16,
Looks good.
uh, which, yeah, I thought looked really good. Pretty sure they said like they're still improving graphics, so I'm interested to see how that improves. Just from like the snippet of like the fighting system I saw, I thought it looked better than 15's. So I might get it this time around.
I'm excited about too that a lot of these games, I think, including Final Fantasy 16, are current gen only. So we'll see. Finally, start to see hopefully next gen hardware be pushed a little bit and see kind of graphical improvements we can
Man,
come to expect over this generation.
it's gonna be so
Yeah.
rough when all the games start going current gen only and you still can't get one.
Yeah, I'm hoping by once I don't know mid next year they'll become available enough.
It's just so they need to make it. I think the problem is that they're not in store, or like they need to make it so that you can order one online, but you can only order one and you have to go into the store to physically get it. That way they
Yeah.
know, like if you try to order two, you can't.
Yeah.
I mean, there's still ways to abuse it, but it would make it way harder. There is a solution. There's definitely is. Besides, I can't stand the solution of putting paywalls in front of it, like hiding. Like Best Buy has a thing where you can like buy a PS5, but only if you're in like the special club or something like that. Or maybe it's like it's discounted or something like that. But all these stores have started introducing like subscription services basically, or like like special like premium tiers where it's like if you buy this for $200 a year, you can get you will have the ability to buy a PS5 immediately when they're on sale.
Hmm.
It's like I don't want to spend an extra 200.
For certain Sony players who have had like their accounts registered since before a certain date or maybe had like spent a certain amount on the PlayStation Store,
Hmm.
they were able to like sign up for like get an email. Like you'll get an email to have priority when the next PS5 sale goes live, and that's how we got one for my brother. So
Oh, that's cool.
yeah,
Xbox though is killing it having those Series S's in stock constantly. I guess if it came down to it and I absolutely had to, I would buy a Series S just to hold out until I can actually get a real
yeah. No one
next
wants
gen
the
console.
Xbox Series suck. Um,
Sale numbers say otherwise.
Dude, the sales
Those,
are crazy with that. That's
yeah.
what that's if anything's gonna give Microsoft an edge while they don't have any games, it's gonna be that that they're getting those sales from the S.
yeah.
And I think we'll see because they're also. It's interesting. They're working on a cloud console. You guys see that? Like
Yeah,
it
it's like a
has a
stick.
project name right now, but yeah, it's essentially just a Fire Stick for XCloud.
Xbox Cloud Gaming works very well. So I'm not surprised that they are going in that direction.
I have yet to try it. But
Me too.
You can do it
I,
free on Fortnite, or if you have Xbox Live Ultimate, you can play it with the select games. You can do it on your Xbox too. Like if you don't have games installed, you can uh like play them with the cloud. I noticed that at Ethan's. Anyways, I think it's wrap time because someone's fallen asleep. Uh,
Bro.
Real quick before we
Uh,
go, I think like at this point it's not really worthwhile giving a review on Obi-Wan episode 3 considering that, by the time this podcast launches episode 4 will be out. But does everyone have like one quick prediction maybe for the episode that I think might come to pass?
maybe Qui-Gon comes.
I hope
Uh,
so.
I think we might see this one. I think is going to be people aren't going to like it, but I think this one's going to be a lot more focused on Reva.
bro, how the fuck did she beat the fastest 10-year-old in the world?
For real.
How'd she get so far ahead of her?
She used her force speed, her one force speed.
People were talking about how did she get ahead of her in a tunnel? But I think there are probably definitely like multiple tunnels.
Yeah, yeah, you could explain it. Then it's like
Yeah.
if people are getting caught up on that, it's like come on. But
Yeah.
my prediction, I think this is like Obi-Wan's burned. He's really wounded. This is kind of going to be his recovery episode. I don't think it's going to be very action heavy, but I am hopeful that he'll be in and out of consciousness and having flashbacks to the Clone Wars is my hope.
Bro,
Yeah.
are we gonna get back to tank flashbacks like
Boba.
Boba?
That's the hope.
Yo.
That would be sick.
I mean,
I
it
would do
seems like
that.
now it'd be the perfect excuse to have some flashbacks to the Clone Wars at this point.
Yeah.
I'm surprised they haven't already, besides Order 66.
Yeah, we've got a lot of that.
Yeah, I'm excited. Also, The Boys Season 3 is off to a good start.
Yes. Uh, so end of episode 3, I feel like is one of the first times in a while where an episode has ended and I legitimately have no idea what is going to happen for the rest of the season.
Is it
Like,
The Boys?
Oh, yeah, we're talking about
yeah,
the boys. Interesting.
yeah,
There were 2 episodes, 3 we were talking about.
oh, sorry, yeah. For the boys episode 3. Uh, and so I'm really
I still
excited to
need to watch
see
it.
how they clean up a lot of these plot points that are all going insane on their own. So I'm excited for that.
I mean, just episode 1 is like crazy. Like you're already seeing some like crazy character dynamics you wouldn't expect.
Yep. Good
And
amount of
there's
penises,
oh
up close and personal.
you guys have to see the front or the first like episode, like the beginning for like it's insane. I don't want to spoil it. It's just like crazy.
My coworker
Yeah.
told me to not be eating while watching
Yeah.
it,
Ooh.
so
It,
that
it is
excites
it
me.
is it is not desirable. It is not a desirably like good looking scene. It is foul.
Yeah.
It's not something I wanted to ever see, but it was very entertaining.
Mhm.
All right.
Okay. Before we officially close off, I want to do a thing that Sam proposed this week, where we each give like one thing that we're like reading, playing, or listening to that we want to suggest to our
Bro,
audience.
recommendations, bro?
Yeah.
You're saying we give some
Um,
recommendations?
yeah, I think it's recommendation time.
Is it time for
Um,
recommendations?
So I want to start by
Recommend?
saying, by recommending the new Bo Burnham outtakes that were posted on YouTube and then in a deluxe album on Spotify. A lot of it is more goofy, but also still serious, like Inside, and a lot of the songs are so good that I'm surprised they weren't on the original soundtrack,
Agreed.
and it's really good.
Ethan, you got anything?
Yeah. I've been listening to a lot of Still Woozy lately since the concert that I went to at the end of May. And, yeah.
Sam?
Cool.
What kind of music would you say it is?
Uh, it's very poppy. The guy himself who does it. His name is Sven. But it's like very, I couldn't describe it to you right now. I'm quite high.
I'll give it a listen.
Sam, what you got?
For me, I've been listening pretty nonstop to the new Post Malone album. Been following Post since his first album. Loving it. Good stuff. In terms of gameplay, I've been playing a lot. I've been getting back into Horizon Forbidden West after taking a lot of time off for Elden Ring. For anyone who maybe put the game aside, they updated it recently, so now the performance mode. I know there was some like graphical issues that people were experiencing, but now they've upscaled it so you can play it in a really. So yeah, the visuals are looking a lot better in that 60 FPS mode. So I've been really enjoying getting back into that game.
Yeah, I think for me it's just Fortnite. It's always Fortnite.
What they got going on in that game these days?
Bro, they got the new season. We were just playing.
It's all changed.
Bro, I'm loving it. They got the new fruits. Dude, those shits are
Yes.
insane. When I had my supercharged XP earlier, I would just land and I would just grab fruits and then pull the weeds to make more fruits grow. I would get like 10,000 XP from one plant. It's insane.
Whoa.
In 24 hours, I just have one more weeding until the legendary fruits.
Yo.
Bro, I just go. I know it's probably not a good idea to increase other players' fruits by pulling their weeds, but I just like taking that shit for myself and getting all the XP from it.
Yeah,
I love that shit. Fucking love Fortnite, bro.
yep.
They're probably
I'm grinding
gonna.
for Darth Vader.
Yep.
It'll be easy.
I'm a chump. I paid the extra to give me the boost.
You'll
I also
get it.
just paid the extra.
Because did you see that?
Nice.
I sent that Reddit post about how like it showed like all the XP strategies. That if you just do your weeklies and your dailies, you will get to tier 100, but it'll be at like the very end of the season.
Hmm.
And there's ways to do. There's a way to do it in like 3 or 5 days
Oh, jeez.
to get to tier 100 by utilizing
Jesus
like
Christ.
the max.
Well, I can actually
Utilizing-
get there in 5 minutes with Daddy's credit card. So
True. True. Did you guys ever steal your parents' credit cards and pay for stuff?
no.
No, because I know that I always knew there was a way for them to check that, so I
No, I
wasn't
did
stupid
that
enough
once.
to do it.
I did that once, and I just said that my account got hacked.
They like
Anyways.
probably canceled their whole card over that.
No, they just disputed it at the bank.
Ah, nice.
Did it work?
Yeah.
Did
Wow.
you get to keep the content?
One time I didn't. One time it got like when it got disputed, it got refunded on my account. So that sucked.
Well, right on.
I think that's it.
Yeah.
Finally.
Good job.
Alexis-
Good job lying to your parents.
Alexa's. Did you guys hear Alexa? She
No.
just like went off for some reason. She was saying it's
Oh.
time to end.
All
I
right.
guess.
Everybody say bye, Alexa.
Bye,
Bye,
Alexa.
Alexa.